Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we shall be discussing the quality and quantity of the zeros or the roots of a cubic polynomial. So let's start. Now I hope that you have already gone through my earlier videos on cubic polynomials, wherein we have talked about how is a cubic polynomial formed, the types of cubic polynomials and so on. So we will basically talk about the basic types of cubic polynomials that we have discussed earlier. For example, this is one type, these are another type, this is a third type, and this is the fourth type of a cubic polynomial. Now, when we are talking about the zeros or we are talking about the real roots, so I hope you will be able to recollect that we talked about zeros of any polynomial are nothing but the real roots of those polynomial when equated to a zero, is why we call them as zeros. Okay, so now for a cubic polynomial, we know that the maximum power of a variable, here we are talking about a single variable which has been used here, is 3. So let us segregate the roots in terms of zeros and non-zeros. So when I say zeros and non-zeros, I am basically referring to what? 3 can be written as a combination of real roots and imaginary roots, which are non-real roots, right? So can I put this as this is 0 plus 3 and then use some binary logic here? So I can write this 3 as a sum of 0 plus 3 or 1 plus 2, or I can write it as 2 plus 1, or finally I can write it as 3 plus 0. Now once I have done this, now we will check for are all these cases valid cases when we are talking about the zeros and the non-zeros, or we are talking about the real roots and we are talking about the imaginary roots. Which case is a valid case? Are all the cases valid here, or some of the cases have to be invalidated? So can we have 3 imaginary roots? No, because imaginary roots always exist in pairs, and that too conjugate pairs. For example, if I say one of the imaginary root is a plus ib, the other imaginary root will be a minus ib. So can I have 2 imaginary roots and 1 real root? Yes. Can I have 1 imaginary root? No. Imaginary roots will always be in multiples of 2. I mean, you can have either 2 imaginary roots, or you can have 4, 6, 8 and so on. But you can, the count of imaginary roots cannot be an odd number. That is something that you need to understand and keep it in mind. So can I have 0 imaginary roots? Yes. So which are the 2 cases which are valid here? This. Now once we know this, now we will see what are the type of, so we will talk about the quantity and the quality of roots. So the quality of roots we have already talked about, and the quantity as well. So what is quality here? Either we are talking about real roots, or we are talking about non-real, which in this case becomes imaginary root, or we are talking about the quantity as well. So quantity is 0 plus 3 or 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1. Now we'll use this entire discussion here. How? We'll see that. So we will use the numbers here. So for example, if I equate this to a 0, it is then only we talk about the zeros. So I'll equate all of them to be equal to a 0. Now whether I write it on the right hand side of the equal to sign or the left hand side does not make much of a difference, as long as you know what are you referring to. So this we are talking about a 0, right? Okay. So now we'll talk about these cases and why have we drawn the lines here. I hope I'll just make a casual mention of the same, wherein specifically we have already talked about this. Okay, now when this has been equated to a 0, I know that the matrix that I can use here is, so we will not only talk about the quantity, here we are going to talk about the quality as well. Now when we are talking about real roots, so when we are talking about real roots, it is only then we talk about 0 or negative or positive when we talk about real roots. And when we talk about imaginary roots, we talk about a plus ib, where I is the imaginary part in it, or we talk about a minus ib. So our focus will be more on the real part of it, not on the non-real part, which is imaginary. But when we are talking about real roots, there are only 3 cases that you can talk about. One is 0, the root being a 0 or negative or positive. These are the three cases that we are going to talk about broadly. Okay, so now when we are in the first case, so let's put this as the first case, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth. Now in the first case, so now we are talking about the first case. So in the first case, using the matrix that we have already used here, so this was the conclusion that we already have. We can use this as a lemma now to be discussed here. Okay, so using this as a lemma now, so in this kind of a cubic equation, either I'll have one real root, so now I'll be using short forms. For a real root I'll be using RR, and for an imaginary root I'll be using IR. So in this case, either I can have one RR along with 2 IR, and so let's say this is the first case that I can use here, and the second case here is 3 RR and 0 IR. So 3 real roots and no imaginary root. These are the two cases that can be broadly formed. Okay, so now when these two cases have been broadly formed, we will focus only on these two cases and we will discuss all these cases under the head of these two broad cases. So what I'm doing is I'm removing this one from here, and now we'll be talking about this is as the one case and this as the second case for all these cases. So when I talk about 1, so can I have one real root here? So now if I am having one real root here, this one, can I have this case? Yes. Can I have this case? Yes. I can have both the cases, but if I am having one real root here, this one real root may be either 0. Can I have a 0 real root here? Can I have one of the root here as 0? We'll see to this. Can I have a positive root here? Yes. Can I have a negative root here? Yes. So please keep in mind, we talk about positive, negative and 0 only when we talk about real roots. This discussion will not sprout. It will not come into picture when we are talking about imaginary roots. Okay. Now here when we are talking about 3 real roots, now 3 real roots here could be what? Either all 3 of them would be positive, or all 3 of them would be negative, or 2 of them are positive and 1 is negative, or 2 of them are negative and 1 is positive. This we are talking about 3 roots, real roots, because we talk about the polarity only when we talk about real roots. Okay. So now which case am I left with here? So we talked about all positive, all negative, 2 positive, 1 positive. Okay, the next case here is one of the root here can be equal to a 0. Now if I put one of the root here equal to a 0, that means I should always get one root here as a 0, which may not be correct here. So broadly you will come across these 4 cases only here. We'll talk about the rest of the cases. We'll come back to this case if the need arises. But this gives you a broad idea of what the quantity of roots that you can get and the quality, let's say the polarity of the roots. Okay, how many cases can you make here? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many cases can you make here? Either the root will be positive or the root would be negative. We have not talked about 0 as one of the roots here, talking about case 1, either here in this case subpart or subpart 2. Let's talk about the second case. Now in this case, I can rewrite this equation as x times of ax square plus bx plus c. So do I have a possibility of 1 real root and 2 imaginary roots? Yes, I have a possibility. Do I have a possibility of 3 real roots and 0 imaginary roots? Yes. Now let us see what are the type of roots that you can use here. So 1 root will always be a 0 here. Now this root, when we are talking about, we are basically talking about x minus 0 into this. So the real root in this case will, one of the real root will always be 0, and the other root, if they are not real, then we will not talk about, I mean, you cannot have a positive and negative in this case. So in this case, one root will definitely be a 0. Now when we are talking about the second case here, now when I know that here we are talking about 0 imaginary roots and then we have 3 real roots, out of which one root is going to be a 0, what can we talk about the remaining 2 roots? Both of them could be positive, or both of them could be negative, or one of them is positive and the other one is negative. Right? We'll see whether we can have more number of cases here or not. Let's talk about the third case. So the third case here is basically an equation wherein we are talking about ax cube plus bx square plus d is equal to a 0, which is case number 3. So can I have this case here, subpart this? Yes. Can I have this subpart? Yes. What would be the outcomes? The outcomes would be the same as the outcomes of 1. Now when I say outcomes would be the same, we are basically talking about the real root. The real root will be either positive or negative if there is one real root, and when you are having more than one real root, then in that case you will have 3 real roots. In that case also we will talk about non-zero roots. So these are the cases wherein you will be getting non-zero roots, and these are those cases wherein you will be getting all possibility of real roots. Okay, so let's write down all these cases. Either all the 3 roots would be positive, or all the 3 would be negative, or 2 of the roots would be positive, 1 is negative, and the remaining 2 would be, I mean talking about the last case, 2 would be positive and 1 is negative. Talking about case number 4. Now in this case, so this is just like ax cube plus cx plus d. So can I say this is nothing but in case if it has roots, it will be having, so you are going to get these 2 broad cases that we have taken will be mutually exclusive to each other. I hope you would have understood it by now. So what I intend to say is either it is going to give me this case or it is going to give me this case. You cannot have a situation wherein you are getting both the cases. The point that I am trying to make here is in a cubic equation or a polynomial, when we talk about either zeros or real roots, or we talk about factors when we are talking about cubic polynomials. So in that case, either we'll talk about this case, which is 1 real root or 1 real factor, or we talk about 3 real roots and 3 real factors. We cannot talk about both the things at the same time because they are mutually exclusive to each other. Only one at a time exists. Either this case exists or this case exists. So in 4, we will have the same case as the case 1. So I'm not wasting time on this. Let's talk about case number 5. Now in case number 5, this can be written as x square times of a x plus b is equal to a 0. Now here also I could have equated it to a 0. Now in this case, will I get 1 real root? No. And if I am not getting 1 real root, then how many real roots would I get? So you will have only this case. And why are you only having this case? Because this can be written as x minus 0 into x minus 0, which is just like saying 0. There are 2 roots which are 0, and the third root here may be positive or it may be negative. And the value of the third root will be given by x is equal to minus b by a. So either the third root would be positive or negative, that is dependent on the values of a and b, and we know for sure that a can never be equal to a 0. So a is a non-zero number value and the remaining are b, c, d are real numbers. They can take either a 0 number value or they can take a non-zero number value as well, whether it is positive or negative. Can I have any other case other than this? No. Okay, talking about 6th case. So this case can be written as x times of ax square plus c. Now this is a dicey case. This is a good one. Now why this is a good one? Will it have, so here we had this no for this and tick for this. So in the case, can I have 1 real root? Yes. Now this 1 real root will always exist, and that 1 real root will be what? 0. You cannot have any other root. So here also when we talked about Can we have one real root? No. But here two real roots, and both of the real roots would be 0, and the third root would be either positive or negative. So here when we are talking about a real root, the real root will always be a 0 only, cannot be any other number. And then along with that we'll get two imaginary roots. But now when we are talking about three real roots, so this three real roots, yes, it will exist, but three real roots will exist only when I say that one of them is a 0. Right? And the other two roots would be opposite in polarity. How? Now when I am writing, so please take this now as a quadratic equation. So now once this is, let's say 0, now I need to put this as, now when this is non-zero, then I put this as a 0. So when I am putting this as a 0, in that case what are we saying? We are saying x square is equal to minus c by a. So here you will get a chance of real roots only when, this case will be possible only when a and c, they have opposite polarities. Otherwise you will always have this case only. I repeat, so if a and c are not having opposite polarities, in that case you will have this case always. But if a and c are having opposite polarities, in that case you will always have three real roots, out of which one root is a 0, and the remaining two roots will always be symmetric. Symmetric means, for example, if I give you an equation like x times of x square minus 4 is equal to a 0. So in that case one root is 0 and the other two roots are minus 2 and plus 2. So when we are getting the other two roots here, they'll be symmetric. So let's put it like this. One of the root is 0 and the other roots would be, let's say, minus r, and the other root will be plus r. So you will always get two roots, non-zero roots, opposite in polarities in this case. Okay, let's talk about case number 7. So when we are talking about case number 7, we are basically referring to what? Ax cube plus d is equal to a 0. Right? In this case, you will never have one real root. You will always have three real roots, but all the three real roots would be equal to the same value. That means here you will be getting the values as coincident values. Now when I say coincident values, what am I referring to? I am saying that x will be equal to minus d by a whole to the power 1 by 3. All the three root values will be, no doubt you will be having three real roots, but the values, all the three real roots would be equal in magnitude. Always. In the rest of the cases, you can't talk like this. I mean, you just can't say whether all the three roots will be equal in. So we are basically talking about all the three roots being equal to each other. But you are having three real roots. Okay. So case number 1 will not hold good here. It is only case number 2 that is going to hold good here. Last case, which is case number 8. So it is basically referring to ax cube. So let's say ax cube is equal to 0. It is just like the same case as we talked about case number 7. So here, if I say one real root and two imaginary root, you will never have two imaginary roots here. You will have three real roots, and all the three real roots would be coincident and they'll be equal to a 0 because a is non-zero. So let us talk about what are the total number of different real roots that you can get from here, the cases of real roots. So let's talk about the cases of real roots that you can get. So when we talk about the cases, we are basically talking about, so we know that maximum we can get three real roots. So plus plus plus, or we get what? Minus minus minus, or we take two of them as plus, one of them as negative, or two of them as negative and one of them as plus. We take one of the roots as 0 and the other two roots may be of the same polarity or different, they may be of the same polarity or of a different polarity, or we have both the roots as 0 only and the third root may be either positive or negative, right? Or we can have all the three roots as a 0. So let's say how many cases have we mentioned? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have we talked about all these cases? Let's see. So did we talk about a case like 1, 2, 3, 4? We have already talked about these cases. So tick for this, tick for this, tick for this, and tick for this. What about two roots being positive and one root being a 0? So we have talked about one root being a 0 and the remaining two roots being non-zero roots. They may be of the same polarity or of a different polarity. Have we talked about two roots being 0 and the third root being either positive or negative? Yes. And have we talked about all the three roots being equal to a 0? Yes. Something that we have not talked about now and which we are going to talk about, either the roots would be positive. So we were talking about one real root being positive or one real root being negative or one root being equal to a 0. Now when I am referring to 1, actually what I intend to say is, in a certain way you can say here this case is just like saying this case only, because all the three roots, no doubt that you are having three roots for this cubic equation, but all the three roots there is only one value and one value is equal to a 0. Similarly, when we talked about this value, we know that here we are getting three roots and here we are getting three negative roots. But all the three negative roots here, in this case, if they are equal to each other, then we'll be taking this case only. Similarly, when I am getting three positive real roots, but all the three roots are equal to each other, in that case it boils down to a single positive root. So what are the total count of cases that we have talked about? 13 such cases. I would suggest go through this video once again, and not only through this video, the videos which have come prior to this also, go through them once again so that you have a concrete idea about cubic polynomials and what is the quantity and the quality of real factors, imaginary factors, real roots and imaginary roots that can be given rise to just with the help of these 8 different types of cubic polynomials. Right? If you feel that this video was really informative and it takes your learning to a next level, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have already done so, click on the bell icon and select all so that you get regular updates from us. If you want us to do some videos on some specific topics, don't hesitate, put it in the comment section so that we can do it for you. Thank you so much. Until next we meet, goodbye.